Hello, and welcome back to Random Awesome Meg. I am Meg, and we are slowly going through 1001 movies to watch before you die. I've edited the list a smidgen, but, anyways, we are talking about Napoleon, which is 31 out of 1,000 on my list. And your first thought might be like, didn't Joaquin Phoenix do that? Wasn't that like a couple years ago? Wrong Napoleon. This one is from 1927, so almost 100 years afterwards. It is basically a biopic, and I did like a quick search. I wasn't gonna go into too much detail on it, but just because I'm not much of a history buff. And I think this movie probably is really, really nice and really interesting for people who are history buffs. So if you are, check it out. I think you would really, really like it. But it is not personally my taste. And the other joke I've been getting a lot is when I say Napoleon, people go like, Napoleon Dynamite? And man, I wish I was watching Napoleon Dynamite instead of this. Let's start off with the fact that this film, I don't know if I accidentally got an extended cut of it, but it is 7.5 hours long. And then when I looked on IMDb, it said 5.5 hours. So I don't know if the IMDb times is like taking out the title cards and just having the subtitles instead, or if I just got an extended cut of the movie. It was rough. I started crocheting during it because I was very, very bored. But there are some good things. So let's talk about the good things. There's some great experimental shots. This is the first time I've seen a decent close up. There have been other close ups, but my complaint with those is that they show no emotion whatsoever. Like, it's just the actor not knowing what to do and they seem uncomfortable and they're just staring, blank face. They don't know what to do. But the kid who played Napoleon in, like, the first little part of it did a good job and he was showing some emotions. It did go on for a little bit long, but pretty cool. So yeah, there's some stuff like that. It's also at the very end. I think what they did is they set up three different cameras to capture Napoleon in battle. And so you have three sides of it, and it's meant to be seamless. Like, it's the start of widescreen, right? But obviously, it's like a little cut weird. And so part of me just wanted to fix it real quick from where it was adjusted. But it was really, really cool to see. And I see how that impacted the movie, and obviously, movies today. I will say, personally, I think it's a little hard to think of how that would have been seen in theaters at the time. And I think the director actually had a complaint about it only being able to be shown in certain theaters because obviously you probably needed the three screens because the screens weren't wide enough to be able to show just how much work and how much effort he put into that last, like, what is it, like 20 to 30 minutes? I will say I did not like as much the very, very last like 5 minutes where it was the split screen because it was just like a close up of Napoleon and then it was a lot of exposure. So I will say that is one of my complaints is that I did not like the amount of exposure in it. And you'll see a lot of silent films love exposure, and I definitely think it can be done right. And I did like sometimes having the multiple exposure, but sometimes it went on a little bit too long. Like, one of them is like there's a lot of metaphors that you get pretty quickly. One of them was Napoleon falling in love with his lover, and so he's looking at this globe, and the globe becomes his lover. And it just went on a little too long. I was like, okay, we get it. There's another one with like Napoleon has like this falcon when he's a kid. Not sure if that's factual or not, and he's like being compared to the falcon, and it goes on for a little too long. And then there's one scene where it's like, I think the end of the reign of terror, so right before Napoleon comes into actual power, where it's just so much behind the title cards. It's the seas, it's Napoleon, it's the falcon, it's the guillotine, it's the court. Just way too much going on all at once. I personally was like, okay, we gotta stop. There also was a crazy horse chase sequence that it was very realistic, and it was like a POV shot, which is incredible for the times, but it did make me quite dizzy and a little sick, so I had to stop watching it, come back, watch it again. Some other stuff that there is, they kind of show you like all the French leaders in it, which again, great if you love French history and you love the Reign of Terror. Watch the movie, you'll love it. But for me, it's hard because I don't really know who these people are. I will say, anytime Robespierre came on the screen, he had these sunglasses, and I'll put a picture of him. He had these sunglasses that he had no business wearing because anytime he put on those shades, I lost my mind. I thought it was the funniest thing ever, is just him seriously wearing these dark sunglasses. Other things, there's like a scene where he's like fleeing from people in France trying to kill him, saying that he's not doing a good job. So what happens is Napoleon gets on this boat and he stole like the French flag and he uses the French flag as a sail. And I thought that was a little cheesy, a little stupid to me. There's also a really weird scene that it can't be. If it is, please let me know if it's historically accurate. There's this young girl who is fawning over Napoleon, and she's jealous of Napoleon's lover who becomes his wife, and she somehow gets like ushered into the family of the wife, right? And she creates like a Napoleon shrine, and the wife finds out, and then the wife doesn't get mad at her but starts worshiping it her, with her at it. Crazy, crazy. So overall, I thought it was a little long. It's not my favorite. I gave it, let's see what I gave it. I'm so sorry to those of you who love it. Actually, I'm not sorry. I gave it a 5.3. It's too long. Maybe that's because I watched the extended version. IMDb gives it an 8.2. So hey, you could still really like it. I don't think this is a great one for people who aren't super into cinema or know a whole lot about cinema. So this is probably a skipper, honestly. And next time on Friday, we will be talking about The Unknown. So stay tuned for that. Have a great one.